everybody, I'm Renzo and welcome back to another How to Build. And today we will be building Uncle Jira or Jira Jireth. Now, this was the next one. This is the one that some of you guys have been asking for, but figured I'd make this video anyways because he was a lot more complicated than Geode, and yeah, I don't know, let's just get right into it. So with these how-to videos, we're going to be splitting it up into a little bit of parts just to get started. So we got the body, the head, the freaking legs, the arms, all the weapons and stuff like that, and of course his little cape. But yeah, let's just get started with the body first. Okay, so first we are starting off with Jira's body. Now, his build has kind of changed. So first of all, he was kind of white and he had the Stormer brain attack mask, and I remember changing it because I thought, oh, well, that's a little too much like Roach. I'll put a picture up of it on screen. But I always thought it was a little too much like Roach, so I changed it, and then in episode 1 he was actually pretty different. But, or episode 0 he actually looked pretty different, but then from episode 4 onwards he always kind of looked the same. And I'm pretty glad for that, honestly, because I'm not a huge fan of the way he used to look. I don't know, just never really dug that look for him. So I much more prefer his newer form, where he's a lot more filled out than he used to be, which is exactly what I was going for. So we're working on him right now. So Uncle Jira was kind of made as a character so that he's kind of an easy, like, more laid-back character. He's not nearly as out there as some of the other characters, so there's what we got so far. He's not nearly as, like, crazy. I don't want to say crazy, but he's not nearly as weird as the other characters. He's a lot more reserved, and he's a lot more calm, and he's basically like, yeah, whatever, there's a weird thing going on, I'm just gonna go with it, or whatever. And I always like that about Jira. He's always very easygoing, and no matter what kind of situation he's in, he'll always be kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's not a very good parenting way to parent, but I don't know, I always like that about him. So Uncle Jira or Jira Jireth is a character who's been planned for... Oh, that seems a little loose. Did I break that? Weird. He's been a character who's been around for a long time. He was always kind of planned from the beginning because Renzo needed a parental figure, and I hadn't decided if his mom was going to be dead yet. That was always something I was deciding. And then I figured, you know what, yeah, he doesn't really need a mom. So his mom is now, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen episode 8, his mom is actually dead. This is nice. This is a nice technique right here to fill in his chest. It helps fill in the chest very well. And then I believe his back, I have pictures because I've never taken this guy apart before. Well, I have, but I've never taken him apart before. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I've never taken this guy apart before besides when I first rebuilt him, because the first form I had of him was it was pretty bad. It was very empty, and if you look back at that old video, you can see his neck is exposed and it looks garbage. So yeah, we're just attaching the butt gear now, and this is a much better way to have the butt gear rather than have it sticking out. Just have this nice little system here that doesn't get in the way. I actually don't remember if Renzo has been upgraded to this, but this is much better, and it looks a lot more natural and flows a lot better. So yeah, but I always like Jira as a character. He's kind of probably the second most bland character out of the main characters, but I mean, I still like his presence in the show. He's always got this sort of warming presence whenever you see him. He's always kind of this figure who he cares a lot for his loved ones, but he's also a lot more easygoing. I believe that's, yeah, like that, because that's where the gun goes, or that's where part of the weapon goes. So his back is very filled out. There is a little bit of a line in there, but it's not very noticeable when you actually have stuff on him. So let's go ahead and build his chest now. So I've always really liked his chest too, I'll admit that. It is kind of open, but I don't think it looks that bad. Hold on, I'm just trying to find my picture of him. Sorry if this is going... Is that? Okay. Sorry if this is going a little longer than usual. I'm just trying to get him right since I have never rebuilt him before. Fun fact, while I was actually taking these Exoforce arms, one of them snapped in half, so I had to grab a new one. And that was fun. but everything's good now because I luckily did have an extra one, because most of my yellow CCBS pieces do snap. So that is his chest, and that goes on very simply, just like, and then his Exoforce arms kind of hug around his chest there, and yeah, there we go. He's kind of a beefy boy, but I like that. So yeah, there we go. That's his chest. Also, I probably should have mentioned this, but this is the arms, but I should have mentioned the fact that this is his most recent version. And spoiler alert for those who haven't seen episode 10, Jira does get his arms cut off in the episode, so he has brand new arms. That explains why one of them is a skeleton arm and stuff like that. So the arms are not really a problem at all. They're super easy. I did put one of these pieces in here just to fill things out a little bit more, so he does have the normal skeleton arm since he took it off of a robot. And I forgot to mention that I believe, yeah, it was episode 4, he actually eventually did, ever since episode 4, he did get the gunmetal shoulder pads, which isn't part of his color scheme, but I actually think works very well for the character for some reason. I don't know. I just think they look really nice on him, so I never have changed them. They used to be silver, but they're not anymore, so yeah. He does have the red hand, and then he does have the one yellow armor on his side. I also should have talked about this right now. Jira is a cyborg, so he is he's a character who has organs inside of his system and stuff like that. So there are his two arms, but I'm just going to finish explaining this. So he's a character who does have organs inside of his system, but for the most part, he is majority robot. So that's why he can breathe in space and stuff like that. It's because he doesn't have any like normal organs. He's just kind of manipulates his body and stuff like that. If you do hit him in a certain area, he probably will die. He probably does have like a heart or something like that dug inside his chest, but other than that, if you don't hit him there, he's going to be fine. But so he's one of the stronger characters, but I mean, he's not unkillable. You can't kill him. And here are Jira's legs. Now, they're very, very simple, but I'm just going to, whatever. I'm just going to put that there for now. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, he is a cyborg, so he's not like... He's actually probably more robot than he is alien. This is because he kind of grew up getting in a lot of fights and stuff like that, and he actually gets pretty wounded, like a good number of times, so that's why he's always got... I don't know, it's just part of his species, basically. He's always kind of been like that. That's loud. And also, these friction ends... Jesus. They're very tight, so his legs aren't going to go flopping or anything. They're also very short legs, too, but this was done in order because I didn't want to make him tower over the other characters, so that's why they're very, very short compared. But I actually really like the 6-long silver armor. It's a shame that we don't really get it too much in other sets. We've gotten it, I think, a couple times. I only have one Phasma set, so... it does not help. I have tried flipping the armor shell on here the other way. I have tried flipping it this way. And for one reason or another, I just don't think that looks amazing. I've always kept it flipped over. When it's actually on Jira, it looks a little bit different. It looks fine, like, as is, but when you actually flip it over, I've just always kept it like this. I don't know why, but yeah, that's the right leg, so let's get to work on the other leg right now. But I really do like this new version of Jira. Jira, again, he's not the most interesting character in the bunch, definitely not. He's probably like the second weakest character in my opinion, but he's got some good moments. I do like his personality. I like his kind of non-caring personality. Like, he's a father figure, kind of, to Renzo, but he's not really there, so he doesn't... I mean, Jira's mentality is that he never actually really became a father, is that instead he was always more or less kind of this simple, like... he was just a guardian, basically. He was never actually seen as Renzo's father figure, even though Renzo grew up with Jira. Renzo idolized his dad, so he just never had time to really bond with Jira or anything. So Jira is definitely more of a guardian than his father figure or anything like that. So, but yeah, there are his legs. This part isn't hard at all, but I just figured, whatever, let's just go through it. This is Jira's head. And I will say, this bulk mask is one of my favorites just because of how much personality this face has. I really wanted to use this face because I originally used the Stormer head, and I took it out because he looked too much like Roach. I'll put the picture up again. But I picked this head because look how much personality is just on that face. I mean, it's not a crazy amount of personality, but it's one of the most, like, it's one of those few heads that has so much personality with him. That's why I picked it. And then he does have the little, because I think without it, he does kind of look little, I don't know. He just kind of looks a little weird without it. So maybe it's because I'm so used to seeing it with it actually on. This is a little bit of a visor, and he actually does look pretty weird with it on because his eyes get a little separated, but I actually really do like what it looks like. So that's just a battle mask sort of thing. But let's go ahead and combine him all together with his body. Also, actually, let me just lift up the camera a little bit so this isn't as awkward. If you're wondering why he does have the cape, if you saw the Jira episode, it's because you would know that he actually got this from, he basically just bought like a bunch of like used parts or something like that, and it came wrapped up in a cape. So Jira actually made this a cape, and he's had this for adventures ever since. And I really like that. I like reintegrating things into the story. That's why you're going to see with one of his weapons. I do like reintroducing things and showing things that were kind of hinted at before. It's very fun to do that. It's not subtle or anything. Like, there's obviously a reason why Jira's walking around with his freaking little tool. It's definitely going to get used at some point. But, yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm a little out of it right now. But, yeah, okay. He's all put together now. So let's move on to his weapons, and then he will be done. And finally, here are the 3 weapons. I was just going to do one segment for each of them, but screw it. So first of all, we do have his tool here. Now, this tool was given to Jira by Renzo in the Christmas special, and that's it. It's just this little tool. The actual pin isn't supposed to be on there, but the pin is just used for storing it on his legs, which is not the best form of storing it, but whatever. I don't really even know what this is. It's just some sort of like tuner or something like that you just like fix up. I don't know what it is. It's just a tool, and it's cool, and Jira carries it around. So yeah, let's just put that over there. Now time is for his gun, and I might get this wrong a little bit because I think this is basically just Luke's gun from the Star Wars. Oh, frick. That little black piece is rolling away. Hold on. I'm pretty sure this is just Luke's gun from the Star Wars set. That's what it is so far. Hold on. Let me find the picture I took. No. Scroll. Okay, let me find the picture that I took of the gun just to make sure I know what I'm doing. What the frick is that? Okay. Yeah, I got it. Alright. I know what I'm doing now. Just put that through there, I think, and then, I hope I know what I'm doing. If I don't, I'm sorry, guys. I really don't know what I'm doing. But this gun was given to him by Lennox. It's just one of the guns that he found while running around or whatever, so he does have this weapon, and yeah, it is basically just Luke's gun. I think it has some different colors, but it's the same gun, but the reason why I decided not to change it really is because I don't know, it's a really good build for a gun, and I don't build custom guns very much, so it's a very large gun, too. I mean, if it, like, look at that. That's a decently sized gun, and it does store on his back, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but yeah. And the final thing is his laser sword thing. I don't know what it's specifically called, it's just a freaking laser sword that he kind of modified, because this is the Red GCU Commander's weapon, which Jira took off of him. And by the way, for anyone who's wondering if he got away scot-free, he did not. It is illegal to kill a GCU commander, obviously, so Jira is not off the hook yet, I'll say that right now. In case, for those of you who are actually wondering, this used to be a trans dark red Borak guy, but then I actually figured out I did have a red one, so now he's just got a more standard sword. It's not the best looking sword design. It is pretty choppy, but hey, I think it looks fine. I think it does its job. So it is a laser sword looking thing like George Lucas, but yeah, that's all his weapons. So let's get to the final part. So in total, I've always kind of liked Jira as a character. He's not the most complex character or anything, but I always like him for some reason. He's always a very nice presence to have around, and whenever he is around, it's just fun. Also, this tool does not stay very well on his leg. It always kind of pops out, so it looks a little weird, but whatever. I'm not really too worried about that right now. And on his back, you can just put the gun, plug it very easily into the back. Very simple, like that. And then his sword, he actually, for those of you who are wondering where he does put his sword, usually it's like this. So you take out the blade pieces, and then you can actually shove it in one of these holes back here. However, this does limit head articulation by a ton, but that is kind of what I do for official storage. But yeah, so that was Jira. That was Uncle Jira's How to Build, and I hope you guys enjoyed that because I like doing these type of videos. So let me know if you guys, let me know who I'm going to do. I actually don't know who I will do next. Maybe Lennox, maybe. He's not too hard to build, so I don't know, probably Runk or something like that. But yeah, I hope you guys like this as much as I liked putting it together. Sorry if the video is a little choppy. I am pretty tired. I finished writing a script last night, so I'm a little on edge. But yeah, hopefully I can put this out today or whatnot, and hopefully you guys enjoy this. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. I'm Renzo, and goodbye.